Arsenal 2, Wolverhampton 1, and I'm not satisfied with that whatsoever. I'm trying to keep my voice down because it's quite late, but I am absolutely furious with this team. Absolutely furious with them. And I was going to come into this originally and have a go at Arteta because I thought this was on Arteta, but apparently he's come out and said that this is actually on the players and that the players are the ones who made the decision to go defensive. Now, if that's true, I have to wonder, was it then on the players all the other previous times that we dropped points? Because if it is, then Arteta just... Well, regardless, Arteta's got to sort it out. Because this is his team. He's got to be the one dictating what the team are doing. And let's be absolutely clear about this. What I saw, technically yesterday, was unacceptable. Unacceptable. You're going against Wolverhampton Wanderers. With all due respect to Wolverhampton, they're bottom of the league. They've only got 2 points. They haven't won a single game. They've only got 2 points. 2 draws. In 16 games. And yet you're going all out defensive against them at home. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. If that's the mentality you've got coming into this season, you don't deserve to win the league. And if I'm Arteta right now, I am furious. I am going into that locker room. I'm yelling. I'm throwing shit. I'm genuinely... The words cannot express my disappointment. We were lucky to win that game. But I actually kind of feel for Wolves, if I'm honest now. Like, genuinely, I think Wolves, just for how much a fight they put into that game, relegation team Wolves, how much fight they did going up against the league leaders. The fact they even got a goal back, because we sat back and just invited pressure, the same way we did every other time we dropped points. Let's be absolutely honest. If this is not a wake-up call now, it never will be. And Arteta openly said himself that it's not acceptable. He's openly said that this habit, this defensive habit that we get whenever we get under a bit of pressure, we've got to sort it out. But look, the reality is only 3 players to me can hold their head up high. Obviously, Saka can hold his head up high, Declan Rice can hold his head up high, and Saliba can hold his head up high. Everyone else, I'm sorry, was not good enough. Maybe Nkappi, actually. Nkappi did decently. But you look at Gyökeres, didn't put in any performance. You look at Martinelli, did decent take on his man, but the shots and chances that he were getting and missing, they were terrible. You look at... I can't really have a go at Rayo for anything. But overall, I'm depressed now. If this is the standard for us, we'll never win the league. And Arteta, even if it's not his fault, even if he's not the one telling them to go defensive, which I don't believe he is, but even then, he still has to look at his team and he has to say, this is not acceptable, you have to get this out of you now. And it's his job to do that. It's his job to get it out of them. And of course, we have the Ben White injury as well. It looked like a hamstring injury, quite high up. I don't know the full details of it yet. I'm probably not going to know until tomorrow or maybe the day after. But it looked quite high up, which means the only thing I can hope is that it's not a tear and it's just a pull. But even then, that's another bloody defensive player that we're missing. This cannot keep up. This absolutely cannot keep up now. We can't keep losing defenders. We're meant to be the best defence in the whole league. And yet we're still losing defenders left, right, back and centre. We're cursed. We're cursed with something now. We've got this defensive injury crisis. We've got our other players back, sure. I think the only players that I can really think of that aren't defenders are Kai Havertz and Max Dalman. Other than that, however, our other injuries all seemingly are defensive. But regardless, this is going to be quite a short player rating because I don't even want to think about it right now. I've watched back the match reaction and genuinely, if I'm a Wolves fan, If I'm a Wolves fan, I'm absolutely gutted. I genuinely feel bad. If there are any Wolves fans that watch this, and I don't think there are, but if any Wolves fan does watch this, I'm gonna say it now. You fully deserved it. If anything, I kind of feel bad for you. I feel bad that you didn't get 3 points out of that game. That's how bad we were, and that's how good you were. Wolves put up a fight. Arsenal didn't. We're just lucky. But anyways, let's get into the player ratings now. And starting off in goal, David Raya. I didn't think he had a horrible game. Maybe could have had a bit more incentive going, trying to get the ball moving quickly. Other than that, however, I've got nothing to complain about. David Raya. He did save that one-on-one, or well, almost a one-on-one. I'll give Raya a 7. Ben White. Well, Ben White went off quite early, so I'm not going to rate him. I'm going to rate Lewis Skelly instead. And Lewis Skelly, when he moved into that left-back position, it was probably best for him, really, because, again, Wolves were just so defensively compact. And Lewis Skelly did have a bit more freedom to go into the midfield. I didn't think Lewis Skelly had a horrible game. I'll give him a 6.5. William Saliba. Now, William Saliba, I thought he did quite decently, and it just shows how much we miss someone like William Saliba. Obviously, he's not back to full fitness yet, and I can't hold him to a certain account. So I'll have to wait for Saliba to get a few more matches in. Other than that, though, Saliba, I'm gonna give him a 7. Timber, I think Timber, it looked like he struggled a little bit in that game. But I think he was just getting frustrated. It's hard to say. But Timber, I think he could have got that first goal with that header. That first header that he got. I think he should be putting that away. Timber, I'm giving a 6. Hincapié, not a horrible game. I don't remember too much he really did, if I'm honest, though. 6.5. Zubimendi. Now, Zubimendi, I think Zubimendi was struggling a little bit. And I think that's why he had to come off. But I don't know much he really did Zubimendi either, if I'm honest. Zubimendi, I'm also giving a 6. Declan Rice, I thought Declan Rice actually had a decent game, if I'm honest. I thought Declan Rice, whenever something was happening in the midfield, it was Declan Rice that was doing it. Eze wasn't doing anything. Zubimendi, again, he's a more defensive-minded player, but even he could have done a bit more. I think Declan Rice, I'm giving a 7.5. Eze, as I said, I'm very disappointed in that performance. I didn't think he had a great game whatsoever. He didn't look at all in control in that game. I'm giving Eze a 6. Bukayo Saka. I think Bukayo Saka is probably the best player that we had that game. I like the way that he was putting in a cross and actually trying to make things happen. And you could see just how good his crosses actually were, especially when I got to look back at it. And in the end, he got a goal from a corner, or well, I can't really call it a goal, but you know what I mean, the first one. And then after that, I don't know if it was him who crossed it again, and then we got the second goal. I can't remember that. I left the game early. But Saka, I'm giving an 8, and he is my man of the match. Martinelli, very disappointing game for him, if I'm honest. He did well taking on the player, but that finishing was absolutely disgusting. Like, genuinely. Martinelli, I'm giving a 5. Victor Gyökeres, I'm also giving a 5. I think something's wrong. Something is wrong. I don't know if it's Gyökeres that's the problem, if the team's the problem with Gyökeres, or I don't know what's going on anymore. But there's something wrong with Gyökeres. It's just not happening. But Gyökeres, I'm giving him a 5. Mikel Arteta. Now, as I said, I did come into this expecting to have a go at Arteta. But now that I'm hearing it wasn't his fault, and it was probably more Odegaard's fault than anything else for him being the captain and getting everyone to go defensive. But Arteta, he's made it clear that he doesn't find it acceptable. And it's about bloody time that he said something like that. Because we as fans, we have been saying it all season. We've been saying it since Anfield. We've been saying it since Man City at home. We've been saying it since Sunderland. We've been saying it since Chelsea. We've been saying it since Aston Villa. It's not acceptable, and we fully expect to lose points doing that. And to do it at home as well, against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who again, respectfully, are bottom of the table. But if it's not Arteta's fault, then at least not for this game. I can't really punish him for that. All I'm going to say with Arteta is that he's got to get this mentality out of the players. He's got to get a winning mentality in his players. So I'm going to abstain from any conversation on that. But Arteta, for the game itself, he took off Gyökeres, he brought on Jesus, he took off Eze, who was having a terrible game, and he brought on Odegaard, who, let's be honest, I would have done the same thing. Overall, it all made sense to me. Even taking off Martinelli and bringing on Trossard, that made sense to me too. Mikel Arteta, assuming that he didn't have anything to do with it, I guess I can give him a 7. The referee, I don't really know what to say about the referee. Very average game. I'm not really going to complain too much about it. He gets a 6. The fans, if I'm being honest, the fans get a 10. At least the fans that stayed anyways. Because one of those fans was not me. The moment I saw that goal go in, I left. I heard the fans celebrate as I was leaving. But nah, once I saw that goal came in, I thought it's the same old Arsenal, always capitulating. But anyways, that's my match review. Like, share and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will be seeing you, let me bring this up, for the match preview for Everton versus Arsenal. And finally, as well, we get a week-long break. That's a bit of time to recuperate, a bit of time to get something in us. But anyways, as I said, like, share and comment, and please subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you for that game. Goodbye for now.